Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Sazabi. And yeah, we finally got it, and I can say that it's actually a pretty beastly suit, but not as beastly as I thought it was going to be, which I'll get into that. But for now, just be assured that it is a pretty good suit. But in here, these two matches, I have two here for you in this initial thoughts video. One of these is on the same morning, at least for me, that the suit came out, and yeah, we have a whole team of Sazabis, perfectly balanced as all things should be. And we'll see how we fare at that. And then the second match is us in an Arctic base match, which works really well for the Sazabi. You'll see why. Might have to do with that really large beam saber it has that you're seeing right now. But yeah, and poor Taru. Taru gets fucked up in his Dovin Wolf. I have to feel bad for him. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start off with some stats here. First of all, you have 700. You're a 700 cost suit. There we go. Almost said you have 700 HP, which, gee, oh, fuck no. But yeah, you actually have 21,000 HP. Pretty nice. And then for resistances, you have 18 ballistic, and then 34 beam and melee resistance. Then you have 30 range strength, 40 melee strength, 135 speed, 230 boost speed, 80 thruster gauge, and then turn speed's worth mentioning here. You have 72, and that gets significantly bigger when you're at low health, and you get your shield gets destroyed too. Cause Jesus Christ, oh man, I can't wait to talk about that. And then for slots, you have 19 close, 13 mid, and 20 long. And I have to say, the stats are pretty decent. You know, you can definitely build that up in a lot of ways that you want. The only downside is that you have 18 ballistic resistance, so a new Gundam's new hyper bazooka is probably going to do a lot of damage to you. So keep an eye out on that. Other than that, yeah, you're tankier than the new Gundam. The new Gundam, I believe, has 24 resistances on everything. So the Sazabi has 34 on beam and melee resistance. That's 10 more than the new. And then for weapons, we're going to start off with the Sazabi beam shot rifle, which is a combination of a shotgun, and if you charge it up, it will shoot a normal solid beam. And then for the shotgun, you have 320 damage per pellet, which I believe there's 8, and then 75% heat rate, and 175 range, and if you charge it, you can shoot a beam rifle that I believe has 350 range, one of those. And it charges pretty fast, you know, or at least decently fast. And I have to say, the shotgun's a little bit disappointing, which I'll get into that in the downsides. It's just that there's a little bit of an inconsistency problem with the shotgun, especially at a certain range. It feels like you're not getting enough stuns. But you know, if you do manage to get like a solid hit in, you can do pretty chunky damage, depending on the suit and, you know, beam resistances and all that. And you know, it does allow you to get a stun, and because the weapon readies up fast even after firing once, if you, let's say you get a stun off and then the person does a dodge roll, well, now you basically have another free stun waiting if you can hit it. That's pretty good. Also, I'm just gonna stupidly walk in front of my teammates' combo because I want to see how much damage I can do with that shotgun. That's my fault. I'm gonna say sorry for that. Me being completely retarded. And then for your second primary weapon, you have the Sazabi large beam saber, which is pretty fucking good. Your damage is 3,100 damage, and you have amazing range on that weapon. A lot of people get surprised with the neutral swing because of how far it can hit. And yeah, and it does so much damage. I was being a dum dum these two matches is because you have a second melee weapon you're supposed to use first, or at least if you want to get better damage, you need to use that other weapon first. But for me, I'm just going out with that because I'm like, ooh, unga bunga, 4,000 damage per downswing, or even 5,000, or even 6,000, depending on if I'm fighting a raid or not, or melee resistances, depending on that. Which, I mean, if you're going to go for just straight raw damage on a low health person, doing a downswing with your large beam saber first, that's totally fine, especially if you want to catch them off guard with the range. And let me say, you will catch people off guard, especially in space. In space, since this thing has a lot of range, you have a lot of up and down movement with this weapon. Because, god damn, it will hit in surprising ways. Especially, its side swings, the left side swing, reaches out so far. It's like I'm using Sephiroth's sword right now. Holy shit. But yeah. Going on to secondary weapons now. You have the Scattering Mega Particle Cannon, which is that beam cannon that you have in your chest, which unfortunately isn't like the Zeus's or the Taoist Customs. It kind of works like the Dovin Wolves, but not. The Dovin Wolves, if it's close, will stun on the first shot, but this, it actually takes two, it shoots twice. It has, well, let me get the stats on it. It has 1,500 damage, 95% heat rate, and 250 range. And it takes 2 hits to stun, unfortunately. So, but you can boost while using it, and you actually can cancel after the first hit. Like, let's say you're charging towards somebody, you can fire once, then pull out, let's say, your pursuit funnels, and use that, and you'll still have your Mega Particle Cannon won't go into overheat, But, that is, if you can hit both shots, that can do some pretty good damage on a lot of suits. And, of course, it allows you to get a stun, and then you can hit somebody, But just, you're not going to get a stun with just that first hit unless you're already slinging out damage on somebody beforehand, Accumulation stagger, that stuff. Second weapon, you have the Sazabi Beam Saber ×2, which is your second melee weapon I was talking about earlier. 2,800 damage. The downswing on that is nothing to scoff at either, even though I was talking about how much beefy damage the large Beam Saber does. The two Beam Sabers does pretty good damage as well, like 3,000 that I can get on people. It's pretty good, actually. Man, I was being really dumb. I really went for a downswing. I could have got us some extra points. Or at least an early kill, getting that O. But yeah, you can potentially get 3 downswings off in a row if you start off with your double beam sabers. You go double beam sabers downswing into your large beam saber downswing, and then back to your double beam sabers. And you can build up a lot of damage, almost a one combo people. But yeah, unfortunately we lost, but I did get top individual score, top assists, and top damage for this first match, and I did get first place, 5-3. I did lose my A+ rating, but I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, pretty good showing there of the Sazabi, and I'm gonna blow it in the next match by just playing really silly, but it's the fun kind of silly. But yeah, poor Taru. But yeah, with your Beam Saber ×2, if you want to go really, if you want to get your damage off, you want to start off with that as your melee weapon. So keep that in mind. And then you have your Funnels ×6 Pincer, which is 300 damage, 55% heat rate, and 300 range. Which those work like any other funnels that you would see. You can send them out and they'll surround somebody and they'll start shooting. This one shoots 3 times, and I believe it'll overheat if you just let them continue shooting. Which I'm trying to remember if you can cancel it or not. I don't think so. Like, let's say if you want to do your follow funnels, the ones that follow you around, I don't remember if you can or not. But they can be pretty great for getting some accumulation stuns. You can send out your funnels to surround somebody, and you can pull out your micro missiles, or your try and shoot them with your shotgun at mid range, which that can work. I've gotten stuns that way. That's one way I can get a reliable accumulation stagger stun. Send out the funnels, use your shotgun. But pretty basic. And unfortunately, unlike the new Gundam, where the new Gundam can boost and use its can send out its funnels while boosting, the Sazabi cannot do that. It has to stop and use it that way. Oh man, look at that. 5,000 damage on the Dovin Wolf. Poor Taru. Oh my god. And it's going to be even worse when I figure out that I can actually stun him with the shotgun at mid-range, because the Dovin Wolf's that big. Which is going to suck for Taru. But yeah, next weapon you got there is the funnels times 6 pursue, which that's the follow funnels. That's what I call the follow funnels. And that's 245 damage each, 35% heat rate, and 300 range. And those ones, they're like the secondary for a lot of funnel users. They follow behind you or in front of you. Let's just say around you. And you can fire at people, hold down the trigger, or just tap it. Yeah, they're basically the Vulcans for this suit. That's kind of just putting it bluntly. Not bluntly, basically. They're there to add in some damage, and you want to use it against lower health suits. You can use them while boosting. That's nice. Something else I wanted to say about them. I believe it takes 6 of those to stun, like 6 full shots of those. So if you're trying to get a an accumulation stagger, make sure you shoot something else before you try and get a stun with your follow funnels. Other than that, they work just fine, And then for your final weapon, you have the shield micro missiles times 3, which is 850 damage, 3 rounds, 400 range, and it takes all 3 of those to stun, and decently powerful. They're a ballistic weapon too, so suits that have low ballistic damage will probably take over 1,000 each. If you're, if it's something like a Humbrabi or something, which, hey, that's like a free 3,000 damage. So, pretty decent, and then, of course, you can use that to help with the accumulation stagger. And then, you also have a shield, which is the Sazabi missile shield, 7,500 HP, and it's considered large. And, good God, when that breaks, your turn speed increases significantly. I don't know by how much, but goddamn. Especially when you're at low health, which we're going to get in skills now. You have a Shock Absorber level 3. You have a 1 dodge roll, not 2, 1. You have some leg buffers. You have Blast Stabilizer. You have Flight Control level 2. So if you're falling in the air, you can boost normally. You have Balancers. You have Ambac level 2. You only have Maneuver Armor level 1. Also, I'm just going to slowly approach this Mark II Cubile and then leave him alone to go fight James. I'm like, okay, I did enough damage to you, Cubile. I'm going to go away now. Back to skills. Yeah, you only have Maneuver Armor level 1. Then you have Force Injectors level 3. Then you have a Melee Combo Controller. You have some radar stuff. You have Power Accelerator level 2, which if you clash with somebody, you can dodge roll or boost away immediately after that, and then try and continue up pressure, Then you have a back add-on buffer, which I'm guessing is for your backpack there, or else it would just be called something else. Don't know why you mentioned saying that. It's a back add-on buffer. Then you have the Psycho Frame and the Counter Program. So the Psycho Frame works like the new Gundams, where suits will take longer to, Psychomu unit stuff, for suits like Cubiles or Toe Shredders, they'll take a longer time to lock onto you, but when you're locking onto somebody else with your funnels, they take a shorter amount of time, and that will activate, along with the counter program. That'll activate when the Sazabi reaches 7,000 health. Like with the new, it reaches 6,000, and that thing has 20,000 health. The Sazabi has 21,000, so it would be 7,000. And then the counter program, like with the new Gundam, the Sazabi has a regular counter. I believe I don't remember exactly what it is. It might be a kick, it might be like a choke slam or something. But when when you have your Psycho stuff activated, your Psycho frame, you're at 7,000 health. You'll do a special counter that does a lot of damage. And the Sazabi special counter, it just slices you to fucking bits. It treats you like a piece of sashimi, just slices you. So pretty good. And yeah, that's all for the Sazabi there. And I gotta say, pretty good suit. Not as good as I thought it was gonna be, but well, that makes it seem disingenuous. It's still a really good suit. Like, still definitely one of the best suits at the moment. But, the way I thought it was going to be, I thought the shotgun was going to be, or the beam shotgun was going to be like how the regular ballistic shotguns were for the Kampfer and the Ifrit. Just like an easy stun, and I thought the chest particle cannon was going to be like how the Zusas and the Daoist customs were, where if you're close to somebody, it's pretty much one and done, they're stunned. Unfortunately, the suit's not like that. It's basically accumulation stun all the way, which, I mean, technically, the beam shotgun would count as an instant stun if you're close enough to somebody, but if you're far enough away, it doesn't really count. It's an accumulation stun. But yeah. Getting into the pros and cons now of the Sazabi, I guess I'll start off with the cons. The cons are, the most noticeable one is that the suit is fucking massive. Yeah, the Gabera Tetra looks like, it looks like that one meme, the "Don't talk to me or my son ever again" meme, The Gabera Tetra can quite literally just ride on top of the Sazabi's shoulders. Oh, and hey, we did win. Top damage dealt, nice. And I believe I didn't get too high of a place. I got 6th place, but I'm fine with that. James did really well, though, in his Sazabi. So, somebody was doing really good. Actually, let's go ahead and look. Yeah, 6th place, 3-2. Not too bad at all. Well, at least I didn't get below that, so there we go. But yeah, the Sazabi is just a massive, hulking, towering suit, so it can be pretty difficult to avoid not getting hit, especially since you only have level 1 maneuver armor. So if you're boosting in front of somebody to try and activate your your maneuver armor, and like more than one person's looking at you, and they're all, you could hold more than 2, a lot of people looking at you, it pretty much just makes your maneuver armor null. Because you're so big, you're going to be soaking up a lot of extra, like, taking up a lot of people's shots, So that's the downside. Sazabi's pretty big. Another downside is that you have 18 ballistic resistance, which is lower than the new Gundams. I mean, you can bulk it up, though, so it does give you the part slots to put on both beam and ballistic resistance, so if you want to go for a tanky build, you can do that. Just be aware, if you're going to leave that alone, that there's some suits that have ballistic weapons that'll do a little bit more damage to you because you have that low ballistic resistance. Like the new Gundam's new Hyper Bazooka, which a lot of people are using because it's an easier option compared to the new Gundam's beam rifle. So keep that in mind with the Sazabi. Another weakness is the shotgun, the beam shotgun. You can charge it up to get yourself a guaranteed stun that doesn't rely on accumulation stagger. But if you're going to try and get a stun off with the shotgun, normally, it's very inconsistent. At some moments, I feel like I can literally be up in somebody's face and shoot the shotgun, and either the game's latency just tells me to fuck off, or the spread of the gun is just that bad, where I'll get like 500 damage, and I don't get a stun. And I either I have to fire another shot of my shotgun and overheat it and still either not get a stun or finally get a stun, and then the enemy can just dodge roll. And now I have to find another way to get a stun, another accumulation stun. So that's a very unfortunate downside to this suit. I do wish the shotgun had a better accumulation accumulation per pellet added to it. That way it can be more reliable as a source of a stun. Other than that, you might want to, before you head off into a battlefield, make sure you have that thing fully charged. That way you can get a guaranteed stun. Other than that, make sure you learn your accumulation stuns. So there's that. Overlooking everything real fast, see if I didn't miss anything. That should be it for cons. There might be one or two I'm missing that I can't think of at the moment. But for pros, the pros are, even though I was doo-dooing on the shotgun, all of its weapons are pretty good, pretty all right, right? Right? They, it's like with the new Gundams. It's not as consistent as the new Gundam's accumulation stagger. Like with the new Gundam, you go, okay, beam rifle, bam, 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 into shield missiles, bam, 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 you're stunned. There we go. I still have some of my shield missiles left. I can still do another volley of my machine gun. There we go. With the Sazabis, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's not bad. It's doable, and it's still good for you to go into other combos. Range combos, and then go into your melee. So it's good. Just be careful with that shotgun. And the funnels are pretty good as well to help with that accumulation stun. Another great upside, positive to this suit is the melee, especially that large beam saber. That is a very effective melee weapon, to say the least. Come in with a downswing, take 4,000 damage off somebody. Especially on a raid, like that's 6,000 damage, and then go for a downswing with your double beam sabers, which that's not the right way to do it. You want to do if you want the most damage possible, you want to start off with the double beam sabers first. So you go for that, then your large beam saber, then back to your double beam sabers, and that should nearly one combo a lot of suits, especially raids. But yeah, the melee is really good on this suit. The only point of contention, I guess I would say, is the double beam saber's neutral swing. Is that really slow? What's a suit that has the same thing? The Bolonok Samans, it's double axe. That neutral swing, it's just so horrendously slow sometimes. You can see somebody's getting comboed, and you want to add in your damage. You come in there, and if you swing out your neutral swing, and it just misses because it's just too slow coming out. So there's that. But, thankfully you have a large beam saber, so you don't have to travel as much to get to somebody to hit them, and it comes out pretty fast. So you can use that instead. But, that neutral swing still does pretty decent damage if you can hit it. But, yeah. Another upside is the skills. I did give this to the new Gundam as well, that it has all the skills you'd want in a general. It doesn't have the double dodge roll like the new Gundam has, and unfortunately it doesn't have a level 3 evasion skill, so it doesn't have that boost gauge left. It doesn't have any more of that boost gauge left, so if you do your dodge roll, that's it. You gotta wait for it to your boost gauge to get done overheating before you can start boosting all that again. But this thing does have a pretty high thruster gauge, so you put some parts on that and you should be just fine, really. Save the dodge roll for important moments if you think you're gonna get fucked up royally. And if you have parts like overheat thruster cooldown parts, should be fine. Also, there's one part. I don't know if I've wanted to put this in a downside or not, or a con. Is that the turn speed can be a little bit much to get used to. Whenever you're low on health, you'll get a bigger turn speed, maneuverability, because I forgot to mention that for the for your psycho frame, is that you'll get better mobility, your speed will increase, and then if your shield is broken, that will also increase your turn speed. And if you're in space, I'm pretty sure this thing has space compatibility. I have to double check on that, but that's even more turn speed, and that can be pretty disorienting. Especially if you're trying to aim with the shotgun, especially if you're on the ground and you have your shield removed and you're low on health. It can be. I've already seen like 2 or 3 of my friends talk about this, where it's like, oh man, goddamn, I can't control myself. Feels like I'm fucking hopped up on drugs. And yeah, you're just constantly just turning and shifting and turning. I kind of want to do a build for space where I have a really high turn speed, and I actually did mess around with that to where I have 100 turn speed, and I still managed to get myself a little bit of some defenses on and some melee damage. And I'm going to try and see how that will work out. The thing I want to do with it is, as more time goes by in the match, and I lose my shield or I'm losing my health, I get even more turn speed, and I can just whiz around the enemy. I can boost up in space, boost down, quickly turn around and boost the other direction, and see how that can help. That might be pretty fucking cool. I've only used it in a practice match, and if it does work out, I might have a video showcasing it. So we'll see how that works. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section how you feel about the Sazabi. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I like the Sazabi. I really do. I think it's better than the new Gundam in this game right now, even though there's some stuff the new Gundam does better. The accumulation stuns, the new Gundam does it's more consistent on the new Gundam. So it has that over the Sazabi, and it does have that funnel shield that's really good. But like I said in the initial thoughts for the new Gundam, the Sazabi, it has more stuff going for it that more people are going to be more familiar with, that are already that's already on high tier suits. Even though the shotgun's inconsistent, it's still a shotgun, and if people can aim center mass and the RNG is good enough, they can get a stun, pretty easy stun, twice in a row, potentially. Or if they're fighting a big suit. I forgot to mention that as something that can be useful for the shotgun. You've probably seen it this match, or the match where I'm absolutely destroying Taru with that melee combo. The Dovin Wolf can't do anything against that shotgun, even at a little bit far enough range, because all the pellets can hit it. So that can be something. And of course, it has the 2 melees that do a lot of damage. The particle cannon does a lot of damage as well and gets you a stun. Just has everything. It works for it. It's looking all peachy for the Sazabi, but it's not as much as a wash in the Sazabi side as I thought it was gonna be. Whenever I first saw the Sazabi and the new Gundam for this game, I thought the Sazabi was just gonna take the cake as the best. But as I said, the new Gundam actually has some stuff that's better over the Sazabi. More consistent accumulation stuns. It has a way to just completely negate damage. But the Sazabi still has just great damage output, and ways to get it stunned, and it has a really far-reaching melee. to the point where it's almost disgusting, you know? So the Sazabi still has some pretty great things about it, and I'll probably use the Sazabi more than the new Gundam, but I'll still use the new Gundam, you know? And I honestly, I can't wait for more 700 suits, so I can see just how effective the new Gundam and the Sazabi will be in a team where it's just not completely dominated by those two. So, can't wait for that. And, you know, if you guys can't wait for that too, I guess type up in the comment section how you'd feel about that. And you know what? Type what suits you think would be also in 700 cost. You know, if we're going to go to Unicorn, which I mean we kind of are past Unicorn with the Tristan, but you know, if we're gonna get Unicorn suits, will they be 700 suits? You know, I mean that probably be obvious. You know, the Unicorn's not gonna be a 200 suit. That's for fucking sure. But you know, any suits that aren't the Unicorn suits, do you think would be? Do you think they would be 700 suits? Something like, I don't know, fucking Bondoc as an example. You think the Bondoc would be a 700 suit? All that, you know. Maybe something like the Moon Gundam. That'd be neat. Neat 700 suit. Not sure if it'd be at 4-star or not, but you know, cool ideas there. Or the Psycho Gundam Mark IV. Be pretty cool. And yeah, with that, I will see you guys later. Bye.